next speaker is the Los Angeles County Sheriff Robert Luna, who commands the largest sheriff's department in the United States. Please welcome Sheriff Luna.
Well, good evening to each and every one of you. It means a lot to us that you decide to come out this evening and listen to us, because this is an important topic. Public safety, quality of life, crime has always been something that affects each and every one of our neighborhoods. So just real quickly before I start my comments, if you can give a hand to all the police officers and deputy sheriffs that are in here for the work they're doing.
The deputy district attorneys as well.
And the deputy district attorney. We do make a great team, and we're blessed to work here in LA County with each other, where the DA, and I tip my hat to you, sir, you've been doing an incredible job. Your folks are doing a really good job, and really bringing accountability back to us. I'm not going to get too much into the street enforcement part of this. I'm going to let your chief, Robert Dunn, talk about that, because obviously all of you, I think most of you live here in Torrance, and you want to hear from your chief. But I just will tell you from the LA County Sheriff's Department perspective, where we patrol 141 unincorporated communities and we have 42 contract cities. I tell all of our business owners, all of our community members, that the Sheriff's Department will respond, we will investigate, and we'll put together the best cases that we'll turn over to our partners at the District Attorney's Office. As simple as that sounds, over the last several years, it has been difficult. When I sit or stand in front of community leaders and or business owners, they're going, yeah, but the officers are saying that they don't want to file a report because nothing's going to happen. So we just want to make sure we're sending the message that if you are a victim of a crime, please report it to us. We don't know what we don't know. And this day in policing, no matter what department you work for, we work a lot smarter than we ever have, which means we are data driven, and that data is based on the reports that come into us from each and every one of you. So never forget that. Make sure you report it. Nothing's too small in regards to at least calling us and making sure that we're aware of it. We respond when we need to or have to, anytime to assist you in any shape, way, or form. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip ahead, and I'm going to, for a second, like I said earlier, not talk about that response and investigation. But another portion that we at the Sheriff's Department are in charge of is our custody operations. I operate 7 custody facilities throughout the county of Los Angeles, and our daily inmate population is a little over 13,000. That's an average. That goes up 100, 200, one day and up the other. What you need to know as I'm giving you my comments is that we currently have 2 consent decrees and 2 settlement agreements that I inherited when I walked into the Sheriff's Department that guide and control what we do in custody operations. So for example, my state rating for the amount of people that I care for every day should not be above 12,400. There is a settlement agreement that says that I have to maintain that population. Remember what I said a couple of minutes ago. My current population, at least yesterday, was 13,100. This isn't a math class. You see the difference there. So it is a constant struggle for us to maintain that and make sure that we're doing whatever we can. Now, as it relates to Proposition 36, when I became your sheriff, if you live here in LA County, almost 3 years ago, I was able to reduce our inmate population to fall within those settlement agreements that was costing the county a whole lot of money, while we are looking for other alternatives. Once Proposition 36 passed, our inmate population has gone up in our county facilities by about 6% or so. give or take whatever day that we're on. What's interesting, so just to do the math there, we were averaging about 12,400 a day, and now we're averaging anywhere between 13,100 or 200. What's interesting within those numbers though, is that 48% of our current population in our care is mentally ill. 48%. We, by default, are the largest mental health institution in the United States. That is not good for us. So even if you look at that smaller population of Proposition 36 folks that are being incarcerated, or at least with us in our care, there is a significant amount of those folks that have some mental health challenges. So when I talk about looking at the future of incarceration in LA County, if any of you have heard me speak publicly, I talk about a concept called a Care First campus. If you're paying attention to county politics, and if you're not, you need to. The current board policy is that Men's Central Jail is supposed to be closed down. You hear a lot of negative things, and to be honest with you, it needs to be closed down. My argument though is you can't close it down until you find space that's adequate to care for the people that are being remanded into our custody on a daily basis. That is critical. And to really care for the kind of population that we're dealing with. So quickly put, the vision is that if somebody comes into our custody, if we could figure out a way as a county of Los Angeles to have the appropriate mental health care, the appropriate addiction services, job placement or job training, and a lot of the folks that come into us don't even have a high school diploma. If we can help with that, well, you say, well, why should we do that? You're a custody facility. Why? Because a lot of the people that we see are repeat offenders. It's a revolving door. They keep on coming in. So in this vision, if I can figure out a way with a lot of other county departments on how to make people better by the time they get out, one, they're not reoffending. Two, it's not a pipeline to a homeless camp, and in many cases that is. So in a sense, a significant part of the population gets fixed so that they don't become our problem. Sounds simple, but it's not easy to get there because there are a lot of folks in the county who don't believe that somebody should get treatment in a custodial setting. But yet, judges on a daily basis remand people into custody that they don't feel comfortable letting out into the public into our custody. So you see the dilemma? So it is, in a sense, a numbers thing. Our DA's office talked about the people they're prosecuting, and they need to prosecute them. That cannot change. What does need to change is, from a county perspective, we have to invest in the appropriate space, whatever you want to call it, to make sure that the people we're putting in there are actually getting better when they come out. Hopefully that makes sense to all of you. I always take time to explain it because when you hear about the closure of Men's Central Jail, you need to ask yourself this question out loud. Currently, Men's Central Jail holds 4,000 inmates. If that jail closes, that facility closes, where do the 4,000 inmates go? Appropriate question, right? We need to have an answer for that. It is my job, our job, to make sure that we have alternatives that keep our community safe. And that's what I'm working currently with our board, all 5 supervisors. I am working with other county departments. We are looking for all these other options. And honestly, we need to act pretty darn quick. Time is running out. But please, pay attention to what the board does. A lot of you may say, well, I live in Torrance. That doesn't impact me, or I live in the South Bay. That doesn't impact me. If you live in Los Angeles County, what that board decides impacts each and every one of you and your families. So again, I'm gonna stop there. I'm gonna be here for question and answers with my partners here to the left. And thank you again for being here tonight. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.